All right, today we're jumping into a special kind of quest. Think of it like an old school RPG. We're not just here to find the treasure at the end, we're actually here to question the map itself. So let's press start and dive in. So every good adventure has to start somewhere, and ours begins with a huge and maybe deceptively simple question. What even is philosophy? I mean, you've probably heard an answer a bunch of times, but is that common answer the right one? Or maybe more importantly, is it the most useful one? Ah, here we are, the starting village. You know the kind. All the friendly NPCs are walking around, and they all have the same line of dialogue. They tell you that philosophy is the love of wisdom. It's from the ancient Greek philosophia. It sounds super profound, doesn't it? Very respectable. But here's where our real quest kicks off. That old saying, it's nice, it's romantic, for sure, but romance isn't the same as precision. Does love of wisdom actually tell us what philosophy does? What its purpose is? Or is it just a beautiful but kind of blurry name for a huge territory we haven't even mapped out yet? This is where we get our special tool for this quest. It's called meta-philosophy, and honestly, you can think of it as looking at the game's source code. It's the part of philosophy that steps way back and asks, hang on, what is this whole game we're playing? What are the rules? What's the point? It's the part that refuses to take anything for granted, not even the definition of itself. And this is exactly why a tool like meta-philosophy is so critical. Because if we just accept those old definitions without really thinking about them, we're treating this living, breathing tradition like it's a dusty old museum piece. But it's not settled. It's an active investigation, and we have to be willing to question the very framework we've been given. And with that, quest accepted. Our mission, should we choose to accept it, is to venture out beyond the safe walls of the starting village, deep into the forest of doubt, and find that one single, unifying thread that ties all the different parts of philosophy together. First stop on our journey, the woods of morality. This place is dense, it's complex, a little spooky maybe. This is where philosophers wrestle with ethics and right conduct. The main challenge here, the big question, is pretty straightforward. How should we all behave? Okay. Next, we're descending deep into the echoing caverns of existence. This is existentialism's turf, and it hits us with an even bigger, more personal puzzle. We are here. We exist. So now what? What are we supposed to do with that bizarre fact? From the dark caves, we now have to climb the towering spire of epistemology. The quest objective at the very top of this spire is to figure out how to think clearly. How to actually separate real solid knowledge from just opinion. How to tell what's based on evidence versus what's just a comfortable assumption. So let's recap. We've been through 3 totally different zones: how to behave, what to do with our lives, and how to think straight. They all feel pretty separate, right? But are they? Could there be some hidden path, some common purpose that runs through all of them? And just when it seems like we might be lost, wandering between these different zones forever, we find it. That classic RPG moment. We've discovered an item. Not just any item, it's the master key. Okay, so let's look at what this new key does. The old map, Love of Wisdom, it really only described the explorer's motivation. It's romantic, but it's super vague. But our new key, it describes a function, the systematic inquiry into how to live a good life. And suddenly, it all just clicks into place. Morality, existence, epistemology, they're not separate regions anymore. They're all essential tools for this one single practical project. This completely reframes philosophy into something incredibly practical. It's not some abstract thing for academics. It's the human operating manual. And the best part? It's not a dusty old book with fixed rules. It's a living, collaborative guide that we're all helping to write. It's an ongoing investigation into how to run this amazingly complex machine we call a human life. So, what does it take to actually play this game? What are the starting stats if you want to create a philosopher character? Well, first, you need the right motivation, a genuine love of knowledge, not as some trophy to put on a shelf, but as a useful tool. And second, you need the catalyst, that confidence to actually challenge what everyone thinks is true and to follow an argument wherever it leads, even if it gets uncomfortable. And this is probably the most crucial point of all. The goal of philosophy isn't to get stuck in an armchair, just thinking in circles forever. No way. Its primary job is to give us a compass for our lives. The goal is right orientation, so that we can get out there and get back to the actual business of living. But hold on, our quest isn't quite over. Every good RPG needs a final boss, right? And at the end of this map, there's one massive challenge waiting for us, the ultimate enemy of the philosophical mindset, dogma. And here's its weakness, its glowing red weak spot. Dogma is basically any system of thought that refuses to question itself. Any idea, even our shiny new master key about living a good life. The moment we treat it as a final, absolute, unquestionable answer, it stops being philosophy, and it becomes dogma. True philosophy has to always be willing to turn its own powerful tools back on itself. So here's the twist in this final boss fight. You don't win by landing one final epic blow. You actually can't. Victory isn't about finding some definitive, end-of-the-game answer. Victory is the commitment to keep questioning, to keep investigating, forever. The battle itself is the reward. And so our MetaQuest comes to a kind of close, but the real journey, your journey, is just getting started. See, the map isn't some static object you just find. It's something you have to create. It's sitting right there, waiting for you to start drawing the next part of the path. So we've established it, right? Philosophy is the human operating manual. It's this amazing, systematic inquiry into how to live a good life. Its whole purpose is to give you a compass, to help you find your orientation. So the only real question left is, where are you going to point that compass first? Where will you begin?